Okay, so Binance.
This time we're diving into the world of Binance, and it's a big one. We're talking 220 million users.
Wow.
That's like a whole country, a whole continent of crypto enthusiasts. And they're not stopping there. They're aiming for even bigger numbers. User base that would rival, I don't know, some serious populations out there. But here's the thing. New CEO at the helm, Richard Tang,
Right.
taking over, and he's got big plans to navigate this crypto ship into uncharted waters.
Yeah.
So we're going to unpack all of this. And trust me, even if you think blockchain is what you use to pave a driveway, you'll get why this matters.
Absolutely.
So new era, new boss, Richard Tang taking over from, well, let's just say the more colorful founder that they had before. It's like Binance is trying to shed that Wild West image and put on a suit.
Yeah, put on a suit. And, it's funny you should say that. It really mirrors what's happening in the crypto space in general. I mean, think back to when Bitcoin was just this, I don't know, fringe thing that just techies were talking about in dark corners of the internet. And now you've got Wall Street knocking on the door. And these institutional investors, they don't mess around with companies that aren't playing by the rules. So Tang's focus on regulation. It's not just good PR. It's about attracting the kind of money that could make Binance a household name.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to go legit. And that leads to the really interesting part, the growth plan. They're talking about going from 220 million users to, wait for it, 2 billion.
It's ambitious.
Billion with a B.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
it's a massive goal.
Bigger than WhatsApp.
It is.
You mentioned Facebook's growth. Is this ambitious or just completely delusional?
Ambitious, definitely. I mean, think about it. It took Facebook over a decade to hit 2 billion users. Over a decade. But here's where it gets really interesting. Binance's first 100 million users, 5 years. The next 100 million, 2 years.
Wow.
That's the kind of exponential growth that gets investors really excited. Yeah. But it all comes down to Tang. And if he can actually convince these big players, these institutions, that Binance is a safe and regulated place to be, that's the key. That's the key to unlocking that next level of growth.
All right, so we've talked about the new CEO and their plans for growth, but let's be real for a second. Crypto and regulation, they don't really go hand in hand, do they?
It's a bit like trying to mix oil and water.
Right.
Maybe even harder.
Yeah. It feels like every other day there's a new headline about some crypto company getting in trouble with regulators.
Yeah, the global regulatory landscape is complicated.
That's an understatement.
It really is. I mean, every country wants to be the one in charge of Bitcoin.
Right.
But no one can even agree on what Bitcoin is.
Yeah.
Is it a commodity? Is it a security? Is it a digital currency?
It's enough to make your head spin. So how does a company like Binance, operating in so many different countries, even begin to deal with all of that?
That's a billion-dollar question.
Literally.
For sure. They've got to find that sweet spot.
Yeah.
They need to keep the regulators happy to attract those big investors.
Right.
But too much compliance, and they risk stifling innovation and alienating the users they already have.
So are they managing so far? I mean, it seems like every other week there's a new story about a crypto company getting fined or shut down.
Binance has definitely had some run-ins, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But they're actually ahead of the game in a lot of ways. They've already got regulatory approvals in 19 countries.
19? That's got to be some kind of record, right?
It's significant for sure, especially in those key markets.
No, where?
Like India and Hong Kong.
Oh, wow.
It shows a commitment to playing by the rules, and that's huge for those institutional investors.
Makes sense. They want to see that a company is taking it seriously, especially in a space as unpredictable as crypto. So it sounds like Binance is playing it safe. But let's be real, in the world of crypto, even the best laid plans can go wrong. Hacks happen, exchanges get targeted. What's Binance doing on the security front? That's the thing, isn't it? It doesn't matter how many users they have or how many countries they're in if they're not keeping that money safe. So what are they actually doing to protect user funds?
Well, they're putting their money where their mouth is, that's for sure. Last year, they prevented an estimated $2.4 billion in potential losses.
$2.4 billion.
Billion with a B.
That's like stopping a whole country's GDP from being robbed. How are they catching these guys?
Well, a lot of it is their AI.
Of course.
AI-powered security systems.
Right.
So they've got algorithms running 24/7 looking for suspicious activity.
Always watching.
Yeah, like imagine, say there's a sudden spike in withdrawals from a certain country, or an account that's acting a little strange trying to access funds in a way they don't normally. The AI picks up on that.
So it's like having an army of little robots.
Yeah, digital detectives.
Making sure nobody's doing anything shady.
Exactly. And it's not just about stopping the bad guys before they do anything. They've got that safety net in place, too. The SAFU fund.
Yeah.
Secure Asset Fund for users,
Catchy.
right? Basically a billion-dollar insurance policy for their users.
Wait, so they actually have $1 billion just sitting there in case they get hacked.
That's right.
That's actually pretty impressive.
It's just they're serious about security.
Yeah, most exchanges have some kind of insurance, but nothing like that.
It's a big deal.
It is. So speaking of money, let's talk about Binance's own cryptocurrency, BNB. With all this talk of regulation and institutions getting involved, what's the deal with BNB? Is it still a good investment?
A lot of people are asking that.
I bet.
And it's a smart question.
Yeah.
The thing is, BNB isn't just some token that Binance controls. It's decentralized.
Right.
Operates on its own blockchain.
Huh?
It's like the fuel for the whole Binance ecosystem. Trading fees, token launches, even booking travel on some platforms.
So you're saying if Binance gets as big as they're hoping, BNB could blow up?
Potentially.
Yeah.
It's all about that network effect.
Yeah.
More users means more demand.
Yeah.
Which usually means...
Higher price.
Exactly.
Yep.
But, and this is important, crypto is volatile.
Yeah.
There are never any guarantees.
Right.
But BNB has a lot going for it. Strong use case,
Yeah.
huge user base, and a company that's pushing for mainstream adoption.
So we've covered a lot today. New leadership, big goals, regulation, security. They're playing the long game, but it's going to work.
Well, Tang himself said that Binance is still in its early stages.
Which is crazy considering how big they already are.
Yeah, if they get even close to what they're aiming for,
It'll be huge.
it could change everything.
Imagine your grandma using Binance to buy groceries with Bitcoin.
That's the future they're trying to build. Whether they get there or not,
Who knows?
it's going to be a wild ride either way.
That's our deep dive on Binance. They're navigating the world of crypto, chasing huge growth, trying to change how we think about money. We've given you the info. Now it's up to you to decide. Is Binance the future of finance? Or are they flying too close to the sun? Until next time, happy diving.